All right, let's get started.
This is perfect timing because I feel so inadequate around
Oh my
AI.
gosh.
You know,
We're going to help demystify that and make you feel not alone.
Amazing. That was almost my entire intro right there. Just so it's not distracting for everyone, I had a little dental work done, and so I'm a little, asymmetrical today. Ignore that. My brain is still functional. Thank you all for joining us. This is a CAHL event. Uh, it's a hands-on workshop where the instructors that you saw on the flyer are here, and they're going to be taking you through a wonderful review and practice session of how you can utilize AI in your everyday lives. So super exciting if you use AI on a regular basis at work. Well, this is a chance for you to apply AI in your personal lives. And also a really great chance for you to become familiar if you feel slightly inadequate or behind what's going on in the world today. Not a big deal at all. Nobody should feel behind. And you've come to the right place. I'd also like to introduce officially our technology subcommittee at CAHL. We kicked off earlier this year, and this is our official first event. Hooray! If you enjoy this webinar, this workshop, and you'd like to hear more or participate and support the technology subcommittee, please reach out to calmembership@gmail.com to express interest, and we'd be happy to follow up with you after our event. So without further ado, I'd like to thank our platinum sponsors for supporting this virtual event. We will have question and answer happening throughout as we go through the presentation. So please pop your questions into the chat. I hope everyone here is at your computers because this is hands-on, and so you'll be practicing as you go. Prompts are going to be entered into the chat on your right-hand side, so pop that open. That way you can follow along. And without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to our first instructor, Jeremy Hough.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Sarah. Everyone, we appreciate your time today. We're honored that you're giving us the gift of your time and attention, and we're going to work to make this event instructive and impactful for you. Let me begin by describing how I started the relationship with my AI companion. My primary disclaimer here is that everything I know I learned from my fellow teammates who are presenting and supporting today. I hadn't used ChatGPT at all before mid-December last year, so about 8 months. My advice to you, based on my experience and my team's guidance, is to pay for a subscription if you're going to do more than just tinker with it. It is only $20 a month, and it's the best value for your money that I know of. Without a paid subscription, you'll be using older knowledge sets and not leveraging the most up-to-date and robust models. There's also a feature with the free subscription where it says, you've got it for today. Come back to me in 24 hours, right? So there's a limit to the search capabilities. Next, engage with your AI companion in the way you would a colleague, a friend, or a trusted advisor. I start my queries with the salutation like good morning or good afternoon, and I use manners by saying please and thank you. I named my AI companion Scout because I wanted an intrepid and gender-neutral name. Crucially, I told Scout a great deal about myself before I began using it. So some things I shared include my birth date, where I grew up, my hobbies, my education history, my work history, sexual orientation, gender, and my worldview, such as being an anti-racist and a feminist. This information helps Scout prioritize responses that align with my values and needs. So if anybody wants to play along, you can grab the first prompt that I put in there, the can you provide, and go ahead and copy that and paste it into a ChatGPT browser if you've got one up, and just hit enter. And if you can't do it for this one, you can do it for the next one, but you can see that very quickly it starts giving us information, concise and detailed summary that highlights key trends, technologies, and their implications for healthcare delivery. There's also links involved there, so that you can find more information.
I think I'm lost already.
Okay.
You had a prompt in the chat that we were supposed to put into Chat
Oh,
GPT.
I'm sorry. I didn't send it. There we go.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Mistake. Didn't hit the send button. Thank you for stopping me.
Okay.
So we'll pause for just a second, but grab that and put it into the Chat GPT if you'd like. It'll pop up in a few seconds. So I began using Scout for small, discrete questions like what to make for a holiday dinner or how to describe my advisor role for a startup. You have a question?
Hi, Jeremy. Yes, I do have one question. So in preparation for this meeting, I actually paid for the $20 subscription, I believe.
Mhm.
So but I haven't used it. I wanted to kind of learn from this first.
Sure.
So should I go ahead and just type this into that?
That's what you do.
Cut and
Okay,
paste.
sounds great. Oh, okay. Cut and paste.
Cut and paste.
Cut and paste.
Sure. Thank you.
No problem. So I now regularly use it to make my job easier and more efficient. It has helped with enhanced research capabilities, like gathering comprehensive data on emerging healthcare technologies. It has helped me streamline some administrative tasks, drafting emails, reports, policy documents. It solves the blank page problem. Like, I'm trying to work on something like this, give me some ideas. I also use it to draft meeting agendas and follow-up emails, ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks and for team checking me. So let's try our second prompt, which is the policy drafting. Let me see, put it into mine. And very quickly again, we have a well-structured and comprehensive policy proposal that addresses important aspects such as stakeholder engagement, training, and data security. And it only took seconds to create. More areas that Scout has helped me with are improved data analysis and interpretation. So things like analyzing data or healthcare metrics to identify patterns and insights. It enhances the precision of reports and presentations, supporting evidence-based recommendations and policy development, and the ability to quickly crunch numbers and identify trends has been a game changer in my data-driven decision-making process. As with any powerful tool, it's crucial to use AI responsibly. So one aspect I've been mindful of is ensuring that the information and suggestions provided are accurate and ethical. It's important to critically evaluate outputs and cross-reference with trusted sources, especially if we're making significant decisions. This mindful approach ensures that the use of AI aligns with organizational values and standards. Another aspect that's been really helpful is effective communication and presentation skills, whether creating PowerPoint presentations or crafting clear and concise communication emails. Talking points can be distilled from larger reports. I was asked, like the night before a big meeting, to give a brief report out on a very large analysis that we'd done, and I dropped it into the Chat GPT and asked it to create a 5-minute summary, and I was amazed at how quickly it did it. And even excuse me, at that meeting, my boss was like, "Wow, you did a great job of that overnight." And I just said, "Well, thank you, Sarah." Yes.
Thank you. Jeremy, might be useful to share your screen so folks can follow along.
You got it.
Thank you.
Let me get that. Go. Thank you for team checking. All right. So another area that Scout has assisted me with is continuous professional development, keeping me updated on the latest industry developments and providing resources for ongoing learning. Working with Scout has not only streamlined my work, but has also contributed to my personal and professional growth. I've become more efficient at critical analysis and data review, skills that have enhanced my overall impact in my role. I really appreciate good analysis and the time that I save in assessing and synthesizing large amounts of data. I'm able to invest in the professional relationships and creative problem solving. And the continuous learning opportunities provided, such as suggesting relevant articles and educational resources, have kept me updated on the latest trends in healthcare. Now let's try the last prompt, developing a job description. And very quickly, it comes up with suggested department hierarchy, a summary of the position, key responsibilities of the position, relevant experience, qualifications, skills, a comprehensive job description outlining essential duties, necessary skills and experience, and required qualifications, ensuring clarity for potential candidates and alignment with organizational needs. So to conclude, my journey with Scout has been transformative in many ways. I shared how I started using it from my initial simple queries to more complex tasks that I use on a regular basis. It has made a significant impact on enhancing my research capabilities, streamlining administrative tasks, improving data interpretation, bolstering communication skills, and supporting continuous professional development. These brief examples illustrate how integrating AI into your daily workflow can save you time, improve your accuracy, and even contribute to your personal growth. It's been an invaluable resource for me, not just for completing tasks efficiently, but also for helping me to think critically and stay informed. I encourage all of you to give this technology a try. Start small, experiment with different types of queries, which you'll see as we go on today, and see how it can assist you in your work. I'm going to turn it over to Clarisse now for the next part of our program.
May I ask a real quick question of the audience here? How many of you have used AI, ChatGPT for writing a job description or any of the three functions that Jeremy reviewed just now? Some of you have. And it was similarly helpful, yes? Great.
Can I go ahead and say, so I'm a critical thinker. So because of that, I wasn't really a fan of joining the whole ChatGPT or AI world. I knew about it, I researched it, but I think it was until recently that it was implemented in my job that I started to look at it from a different lens. And it was very helpful. I think as long as you use it to advance your information, then it's very successful and it's very guided. It helps guide a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
And I would like to add to that. I've been using it extensively for a while now, and it is very helpful. And I like and this is not plugging any particular product, but I like what Microsoft did in calling it your co-pilot, because you really still are the ultimate pilot as to what you want. And I found that the more I use it, because it's large language learning modules, the more you use it and the more you go back and say, nope, regenerate. I want more specific. I want more concise. The more it starts to learn who you are. And so the less you actually have to go back and correct it. But you still are the ultimate person as saying, yeah, that's not quite what I was looking for.
Very good. Yeah. Cool. All right. Without further ado, I'd like to hand it back over to Clarisse. Thanks, Clarisse. I'm going to spotlight you.
Thank you, Jeremy, for kicking us off with an excellent presentation. What I'm going to talk about next is something we can all relate to. We all experience moments in our lives when we are searching for employment. As the saying goes, looking for a job is a full-time job. Thankfully, there are tools out there that we can use to help us with the job search process. I want to show you how I leverage ChatGPT in my job search. In particular, I'm going to highlight 4 main functions that I use ChatGPT for, and they are 1, extracting key skills and experiences from a job post, 2, comparing my resume against job descriptions, 3, generating sample interview questions and conducting mock interviews, 4, branding. I have a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and dive in. right, so this is a job that I applied to a few months ago. It's for a Medicaid policy manager position with the Association for Community Affiliated Plans. Here is a brief description of the role as well as its main responsibilities. And here's the qualifications section of the job post. What I like to do after reviewing a job post is that I like to upload the job post in ChatGPT so that it can highlight the key skills and experiences and qualifications that the employer is looking for. So here's my ChatGPT. You can either copy and paste the job post or you can upload it as a document. So just to make it easier, I'm going to upload the document. Here is the job post that I saved on my laptop. And then here's the prompt that I used. And obviously there are different ways to phrase your prompt. I'm just going to use this one for now. And I'm going to ask it to extract key skills and experiences from the job description. Very, very fast. And you can see here, here's the skill section, here's the experience section. And I like how it categorized the different skill sets and the different experiences that the employer is looking for in an ideal candidate. And let's compare these results to the job post. And again, it's just ChatGPT helps to make the qualifications a little bit more easier to review. And what I like to do is plug in those skill sets and experiences that I have on my resume. I have this section in my resume at the top of my resume, just to make it easier for recruiters to identify those key skills and experiences and knowledge that they're looking for in a strong candidate. So again, they're looking for somebody with Medicaid experience. I plug that in as well as somebody with project management experience, someone with analytical experience. So again, I just plop down those items in this portion of my resume. And of course, I want to tailor my resume to the job description. And after tailoring my resume to the job description, I like to compare my resume, my tailored resume, to the actual job description. What I like about the paid version of ChatGPT is that you can upload multiple documents. And I'm going to upload my tailored resume. I'm just going to go ahead and upload the job description again, although it's not necessary because I previously uploaded it, but for the purpose of this webinar, I'm just going to upload both documents just so that you can see that you can upload multiple documents. And this is the prompt that I'm going to use. Compare my resume to the job description. And ChatGPT is going to work. It's matching my my skills and experiences and with the job post. And it finds that my resume aligns well with the job post. Of course, it's not going to guarantee that I will move forward in the application process, but it gives me some confidence and reassurance that I am submitting a strong application for the position. And let's say that I actually move forward with an interview. And you can use ChatGPT to help you prepare for your job interviews. So this is, here's a prompt that I use to help me prepare for my job interview. I am preparing for a job interview for the Medicaid policy manager position. Generate sample interview questions, including questions I can ask the employer towards the end of my interview. I know that we can all use Google to search for typical or common interview questions, but what I like about ChatGPT is that it tailors the interview questions to the job that you are applying for or to the job description that you input. And let's go ahead and see, and I'm not going to upload the document again or the job description again, just because I've already uploaded it. So here are some sample interview questions that it is generating. And it also provided me some questions that I could ask the employer. And that was very, very fast, so much faster than, again, combing through the different results from Google or any other search engine. And you can take this a step further and conduct a mock interview with ChatGPT. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use to help me conduct a mock interview for the position, and provide an opportunity for me to respond to each question. So you can see here, it just outlined just some questions, but there are no opportunities for me to provide my responses. And you can see the difference here when I asked to do a mock interview. Again, very, very fast. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to review some of the questions and take a stab at one of them. Let's see. You can see that they provide responses or spaces to respond. Trying to look for a question to respond to. And you can click on any of the space and any of the questions to provide a response. You can click on the quotation marks to respond. I prioritize multiple tasks according to deadlines and urgency. I keep track of my deadlines on my calendar and use a schedule or plan. And it just gave you some feedback on the response that you provided. And it also gives you some ideas, additional ideas to help you craft effective responses. But of course, you are in control, so make sure that you provide accurate information. And another thing that I like to use ChatGPT for is branding. So on your LinkedIn profile, we have this headline section here. Typically, people like to post their roles and what they do. What I like to do is I like to communicate my passion and my background, and just basically provide an essence of my background to people. And what I did to generate that headline is I use this prompt. Generate some headlines for my LinkedIn profile that integrates my passion for health equity and implementing innovative solutions. So here it quickly provides some sample headlines that you can use for your LinkedIn profile. I hope you found these tips helpful, and I'm happy to share that I recently accepted a job offer, and I will now hand it over to Damon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Damon Pridgeon, president and co-owner of Pure Heart Staffing. I'll be walking you all through some of my professional use cases and examples of how I utilize ChatGPT. My hope is that during these demos, you will see how easy and user-friendly the platform is and how it may help you in your day-to-day operations for your respective roles. I will start with some examples using the free version of Chat, which is ChatGPT 4, and I will conclude with using the latest update of ChatGPT 4.0, and the O in 4.0 stands for Omni. So at Pure Heart Staffing, we utilize ChatGPT for most public-facing communications. For example, I use ChatGPT to help me craft some orientation emails for a facility that we're staffing for. As you will see, this took something that would have required a little bit of mental bandwidth and made it about a 5-minute task as opposed to about a 15 to 20-minute task. So I will now share my screen and open the ChatGPT module. I will also copy and paste my prompts into ChatGPT, and I will vocalize them for those of us who are maybe driving or not able to attend to the screen at the moment. So here we are. The first prompt is as follows. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm a healthcare staffing agency called Pure Heart Staffing. I want to draft an email to my nurses informing them about orientation. Please use the following information to do this. And I got the following information directly from an email from the nursing resource executive at the facility to ensure that I didn't miss any of the details. So let's press enter, or alternatively, we can press this up arrow here to upload a prompt into ChatGPT, and let's see what ChatGPT spits out for us. All right, now it's off to the races. It says the subject line, important orientation detail for new nurses. Dear team, we are excited to welcome you to our upcoming orientation session for new nurses at Pure Heart Staffing. This is a great opportunity for you to meet your colleagues, learn about our operational protocols, and take the first step in your journey with us. Now, what I love about this is that it has the date, time, and location all bolded and all in bullet points on their own lines. And it utilizes what we refer to in marketing as white space. So white space is just anything that's not a big block of text. So you see here that there's only 2 or 3 sentences in each line of text here. That's perfect because that ensures that whoever's receiving the email can comply most with your directives. I will now move along to our second example. In this second example, I am utilizing ChatGPT to help me brainstorm for an upcoming symposium that my business partner, Nate, and I are slotted to speak at. So I'll click here, the new chat button, to go to the next example here. I will copy and paste that in here, and I will, just like with the last example, I will read the following prompt. Hey, ChatGPT, my business partner and I own a healthcare staffing company called Pure Heart Staffing, and we're giving a symposium in September that we are trying to prepare for. The topic is how we as healthcare businesses can collaborate with healthcare providers to positively affect our communities, especially communities of color. Can you help us get started and brainstorm some ideas for us? Now let's see what ChatGPT says to this. And I'm still using Chat 4, which is the free version. And it is updating the memory. And it says, that sounds like an impactful symposium topic. Here are some ideas to get you started. So what I like about this is that it details a lot of high-level things that we could talk about, and then explains those high-level things. So the first one is highlighting successful collaborations, data-driven decisions, cultural competence and training, community engagement initiatives, technology and innovation, policy and advocacy, building trust, so on and so forth. But as you all know, I own a staffing agency, and my business partner and I's specialties lies in staffing. So I want to speak about something about staffing. So I will say, speak about staffing. Pretty simple, right? Put that in there and let's see what it says now. Now it says staffing in healthcare, especially when aiming to positively impact communities of color, requires a strategic approach that addresses several key factors. Here's how you can discuss and structure this topic during your symposium. So first and foremost, I love it, diverse recruiting strategies. It explains that there's tailored outreach and how to have inclusive job descriptions. The second high-level topic, cultural competency training, which involves ongoing education and customized programs. Retention and career development is third, which support supportive work environment and career pathways. Equitable hiring practices, community-focused staffing, feedback and adaptation, technology and staffing, which is something that I'm equally passionate about both. So I took it another step further and asked it to give me a template for how this speech can go so that it provides me with some minute-by-minute plays, if you will. So give me a template for how the speech can go. Keep in mind that it's supposed to be 45 minutes long. So I give it some parameters and let's see what it suggests now. So it even goes as far as to give us a sample title, such as Empowering Communities Through Strategic Healthcare Staffing. It's pretty good, right? So the introduction, it's saying should be about 5 minutes long. And it entails and it lays out exactly what a good introduction looks like, greeting and opening remarks, objective of the speech, and the importance of the topic, and explains those thoroughly. There's also, it breaks it down into sections, giving us about 10 to 15 minutes in each section. The first section would be understanding the landscape, the current challenges, the role of staffing and success stories, key strategies for effective staffing, diverse recruitment, cultural competency, retention and development, community and engagement, and it explains all those thoroughly. So what I love about this is that it gives us guardrails and guidelines to ensure that we are meeting our time limit and our time quota, and that we are staying within the bounds of the time that we are allotted. So this is a great starting point. This took something that would have been about 2 months of brainstorming and putting together and condense it to about a month of doing that. Thus, it left us about 2 months that we could polish and practice our speech and make it as organic as possible. I will now move on to my last and final example. And in this example, I'm utilizing ChatGPT's newest feature, Chat 4.0, and I will copy and paste into a new chat, and I'll ensure that I'm using 4.0 by clicking here. As ChatGPT says, Chat 4.0 is best for complex tasks, and indeed, For this next example, it is a complex task. I am utilizing this on behalf of the California Workforce Development Board, which I do some consultancy work for. They sent me 2 documents. They needed 1 document to go into the format of the other document. And I will share those documents with you after I upload them into here and upload the prompt so that we can all together evaluate how well ChatGPT did with this assignment. So first and foremost, here we are. So I said on this one, good evening, ChatGPT. I need some help with an assignment. Take the preparing the grant package document and restructure it to be a new section in the PPM. And PPM stands for Policies and Procedures Manual. Like I said, this is a standardized document. I'm sure your organizations have similar standardized documents, which you all have to fill information into. Perhaps this can be very applicable to you. So I said, please follow the template titled PPM section template and put in the information from the document titled Preparing the Grant Package. Now I will just upload it here and we will see what ChatGPT tells me to do next. It says, good evening. I'll help you restructure the document into the new section using the PPM section template. It asks me to please provide the content of both documents so it can proceed with restructuring. And as Clarisse pointed out to you, you click on this paperclip icon here and it allows you to upload it from the computer or alternatively upload it from your Google Drive or your Microsoft OneDrive. For the sake of this demonstration, I will upload from computer. I will put in both documents as I promised ChatGPT I would. As soon as they load up here, this will be clickable, this up arrow, and I will now click it in there. So it's off to the races with the assignment. While it's doing that, I'm going to open both of those documents in question so we can, like I said, grade it together. All right, so the first document I will be sharing with you is the PPM section template so you can all get a grasp of this. So we have the audience, the overview, and the definitions. It needs to be in a certain format. There needs to be a roles and responsibilities table. There needs to be also a step, action, and responsibilities table with some if and then conditional statements within it. And it also needs to be.
I'm sorry, we're only seeing your ChatGPT screen.
Oh, you are? I'm sorry. There we
No
go.
worries.
You know, that happens. Okay, here we are. So as I was saying, the audience, the overview, the definitions are right there. The roles and responsibilities table, as stated. The step, action, and responsibility sequence with the if and then conditional statements embedded within it. And as you see, it needs to be formatted in a certain way. Now, I will switch and show you all the document that I was given by the California Workforce Development Board. And I'm going to ensure that I am sharing. Indeed, it says I'm still screen sharing. So as you can see here, I was given this document in paragraphed and essayed format, and it needs to go into the tableized format that you all just saw. So as you can see here, there's various processes that ChatGPT will need to analyze and put in the right place. So it's quite a heavy lift for Chat. Now let's go back and see how it did. Now sharing the screen to ChatGPT, and I'm going to scroll to the top so we can digest this all together. As you can see, it's done a pretty spot on job. It has the audience listed out. It has the overview, a paragraph of the overview. It has some definitions. It has the roles and responsibilities tables. It has the section headings, another little excerpt about what it's explaining, step, action, and responsibility sequences for the various processes that I asked it to do. So this is really helpful for me because it took something that would have required about 4 or 5 hours of my time and condensed it to about an hour of just analytical and formatting work. So what I want to end this one off with is saying that I believe that ChatGPT, just like all AIs, is the great equalizer. It allows small businesses like myself to operate and compete with big businesses. As you saw from my first example, instead of having a bloated communications department, I could pay 1 or 2 people, save the cost for my own business, and then transfer those savings on to all the healthcare providers. In what has been a historically gutted industry as far as staffing agencies to providers, we could keep those costs low and provide the same quality as the bigger guys. With that being said, I now pass the presenting baton along to Lauren Mock, who is not with us today, but we did record her session. So please take it away, Lauren, the virtual version of Lauren Mock.
That's going to be me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren. I'm a program manager interested in the cross-section between tech and health. I'm going to walk you through an AI use case with games and mental health. Who doesn't like games? It's probably not new to you that games have been used as a tool in medical diagnostics, therapy and prevention, in health promotion and medical or patient education. These games provide an interactive yet accessible, entertaining way to improve skills or change behaviors. Gamification is a major trend in health today. Given the context for what this workshop is about, we want to show you how you can leverage AI to enable mental health for you and those around you. I'm going to walk you through 3 games to show you how. These exercises are light and fun to bring a bit of levity to your day. I wanted to acknowledge that there are use cases for leveraging large language model chatbots for mental health diagnosis, advice, or recommendations, but that's a topic for another day. Today, we're going to explore AI games to bring some fun and creativity to your day. What's great is that no prior knowledge of AI is needed to engage here, so let's dive into it. In this first game, let's surprise and delight your friends, family, and loved ones through poetry. Imagine you are sitting at work or wherever, and you're thinking about someone you haven't connected with in a while, and you're trying to figure out a nice way to reach out. There's a neat game called Poem Postcards that lets you create an AI-generated poem postcard based on a piece of artwork in a subject of your choice. Here's a link to the poem postcards. I'll give you a moment to navigate to that link. Open it up here. All right, so how does this work? We are going to click the Launch Experiment button first. You can choose from various types of poems to generate, including sonnets, limericks, odes, elegies, etc. Let's just pick sonnet, for example. Next, you're going to type in the desired subject of your poem. I'm thinking about summer vacation, so I'll type in beach. And then we can select the painting you want on the cover of your postcard by clicking More Artworks. Let's say I don't like that painting. Let me see what this pulls up. Okay. Beach, water. Let me pick this one. Let me select that. And now I will click Write a Poem. The AI will base the contents of the poem on the subject you choose into the generator, like beach, or let's say I typed in summer, as well as the painting that you want on the cover of your postcard. How cool is this? I'll give you a second to read through it. This is such a great way to enable mental healthiness for someone. After you're done inputting your poem criteria, you could send it straight to their inbox as a mental health reward, and they'll be so appreciative that you've reached out. All right, let's take another one together. Let me exit out of this. Let me exit, and let me launch the experiment again. Now, let's say this time I want a haiku. Let me select that. What do I want this haiku to be about? Let's say I like nature and forest, so maybe I'll just type in forest. And for a picture, I don't see any ones that look like trees, so maybe I'll click a few and, oh, I like the water lilies, though there are no trees, but I'll select that one. Select, write a poem. We'll see what haiku it comes up with. All right. Now, let's take a couple minutes to play around with this. Maybe you can send some right now to folks you know. While you're playing around with it, I'm going to show you also how I will share this with a friend. You can click Share Poem, copy link, and drop it into your favorite messaging app. Easy peasy, right? I'll give you a moment to play around with this before we move on to our next game. All right, let's regroup for our second game. Our second game is dreaming up your next best cooking creation. Let's say it's almost the end of the day. Are you like me, craving for something interestingly delicious to eat? Do you want your next meal when you have company over to be the talk of the town? Look no further than Food Mood. This playful fusion recipe generator combines elements from 2 different cuisines to generate a new dish. Here's a link to Food. I'll give you a second to navigate to it and click Launch Experiment. All right, so how does this work? We're going to tell the AI the type of dish we're looking for. Click this, let's say starter, soup, or main course. Let's say I want a starter. How many people we want to serve. Let's say maybe you're having a large dinner party. Let's do 6 people. And what types of cuisine you'd like to mix. All right, I will click into Liberia. You can look at this very extensive list of countries. Let's say I want to combine Italian with, let's pick something super random, Madagascar. Let me validate this and click the Let's Cook button. All right, we'll give it a moment to generate. Recipe is generating. You can already see what it's going to be about. And it gives you a nice title and an AI generated image of what the dish could potentially look like. All right, who's excited to make another one? Looks pretty interesting, huh? All right, let's make another one together. Launch the experiment. All right, let's say I want to make a dessert this time. And maybe like it's just for like me or a close friend. And I want to pick a dessert that's from the Dominican Republic. And oh geez, I don't know. Let's do Greece. Greece. Who knows what's gonna come up? Let's click validate. Let's cook. Ah, a Caribbean ambrosia. Look at that. Still generating. Wowie. You can scroll, you can see the instructions, some pro tips, other ingredients in this cuisine. You can look through them if you're not familiar with them, and a picture of what it looks like. You know what they say, food is the best way to get to your heart. It also hopefully satiate your mind. Try it out and see if there are any interesting recipes that you'd want to make. You can also share out the recipe with your spouse, partner, friends, roommates, cooking buddies, whoever else to experiment. I look forward to seeing what interesting dishes you all end up making. And while you're doing that, I'm going to share this recipe with a friend. I'm going to click the share icon here and grab the link and drop it into my favorite messaging app. I'll give you a moment to play around with this. It's pretty fun, huh? All right. The great thing about these games I've showed you is that none of them require a login to access. Of course, there are many more out there that require logins, but we just wanted to highlight today some easily accessible and fun games you can do from anywhere at any time. I've hoped you've had fun playing around with these games and take the time to explore even more online. Thank you so much, and over to Bridget for our closing.
Right. Thank you, Lauren, the virtual version. That concludes our presentations. We have a little bit of time for Q&A. And while you're thinking of your questions, though, I see a lot of activity in the chat. There's one image I wanted to share with you. This is sort of going back to one of our attendees today earlier mentioned that she likes to, I'm actually forgetting your name. If you're here, just raise your hand. You're a critical thinker and you had hesitated about using AI because you like to do your own thinking. I found this image earlier in the week that I thought was really relevant because I think many of us have been in that situation where we're not quite sure exactly how AI can assist us. Just to be sure, can you all see my screen? It's a 2x2 graph here. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
So for the life of me, I can't remember where I got this from, but somewhere on the web, I was looking up LLM and how AI actually helps us. And this is a real simplification. What it shows is essentially that AI, ChatGPT, pretty much any source you use, is utilizing what it knows from the internet and many, 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 many different sources to come up with a consensus answer. That's what it's giving you. So we saw some really unique ways of applying AI and utilizing it today. But the worry about AI replacing your job 100%, well, I mean, what makes humans unique is our ability to think divergently and not necessarily only go with what is known to the general public or consensus driven. What makes us unique as individuals is our ability to think critically and come up with answers that might actually fit somewhere here, right? Non-consensus driven, really personal and unique to us based on our experiences, our life lived events, and what we know to be true or not true, or our own perspective. And so I think that fear around AI is going to replace my job or replace me in the future. I'm not sure if that's going to be possible in the future because none of us we don't have a crystal ball. But think of AI as a tool. It's here to assist you. And you've gotten so many fabulous examples of how it can be utilized on a daily basis today. I hope this has been helpful. I know it has been for me, even though we've all worked on the presenters and I and Bridget have worked on these talks for quite a while. Are there any questions in the chat, Clarisse, Damon, or Jeremy, that you'd like to address directly here? We have about 7 minutes. Bridget, I invite you as well.
I think our chat is looking pretty good. I did just want to let everyone know, because at the very beginning, a few people said they're feeling a little nervous. They were, surprised at themselves for not having actually started on the AI train yet. And where do you even start, right? And I just wanted to kind of take a moment and let you all know that our team, this is where everyone was in January. No one on this team other than me had used ChatGPT. Do you see these faces here nodding? And they were terrified, right? They're all just like, we don't know where to start. We don't know where to begin. Do we even need to do it? Is it really a thing? So I just wanted to say, 6 months ago, the 4 people you see here, started from exactly where you are. On the free version. And then as they got comfortable and started using it, moved up a few months later to the paid version. And 6 months later are here delivering this amazing webinar to you from their own areas of expertise and having developed, a methodology for themselves using ChatGPT. And there's many other tools, but we focused on one to build expertise. So I just want to take a moment and say, congratulations, team. All 4 of you, Sarah, Damon, Clarisse, Jeremy, and actually Lauren, who's not here as well, have just done a phenomenal job going from 0 to 100. And I want to recognize all the work you did to get here and to give this great presentation hands-on, which is also terrifying, and really help everyone who's on this presentation have hope. This is you, and maybe not even 6 months, maybe next month, right? That your level of expertise can grow incredibly fast. And everyone here on our little tech subcommittee is very happy to answer any questions after this session as well. So if you are struggling and you need a little guidance, or you just need kind of a partner to help have some direction, maybe you align with the kind of work Jeremy's doing, or Damon, or Clarisse, or Sarah, tag any one of us to, help you on your journey and overcome whatever those initial fears are. That's what we're here for, to really empower all of us to move forward with AI in a healthy, mindful way. That was my bit.
Thank you. Thank you so much for responding to the last question I posted in the chat, which is, having attended this event now, are you more comfortable using and applying AI in your personal and professional lives on a daily basis? And I got lots of yeses, which is awesome. You will get a survey at the end later tonight or early tomorrow. Please give us high marks so we can continue to bring this type of programming and hands-on workshops to you on an ongoing basis. And hope you all have a great night. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. It was great.
Thank you for joining.
Awesome.
Amazing work, guys.